Alright, so this is a completely unplanned video as far as, there's no structure really or layout. I'm just kind of going off the cuff. I just wanted to kind of air out, just some thoughts, I guess, that I had. So I'll start by saying, anybody who watches this channel knows that I am a fan of clone houses. I think they serve a purpose. I think they offer a chance for a lot of people in the fragrance community to be able to experience fragrances they wouldn't have otherwise been able to. And I understand the controversy as well. I understand, obviously quality is not going to be the same as an actual niche product usually because the ingredients simply aren't the same. There's a reason they cost as much as they do. Now, yes, a lot of that's marketing. A lot of that is the design of the actual fragrance itself. So I get a lot of that plays into it also, but there's no doubting the quality in the ingredients in something like a Roja that just simply can't be replicated to the same extent through a clone house. Now, that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother video. The whole purpose of me saying that is I am not a hater of Dua. I'm not a hater of clone fragrances in general. I don't have a problem with Dua fragrances as far as what they do, in recreating fragrances. That said, I do have a problem with how they, I guess, moderate and how they conduct themselves as a company. So I'll just start by saying this. I was kicked out of the Dua Facebook group without being told anything. It wasn't until later that I discovered why. And what happened was, and I'll tell you all here because I have nothing to hide, I stand by everything that I said. We have a group of some of us in the fragrance community that are, closer. We're all fans of Dua and other houses and everything else. And we have a Facebook group that we just, kind of talk on. I'm not going to mention the group. I'm not going to mention people in the group. I'm going to keep all that private because they have nothing to do with this and I'm not bringing them into it. That said, I had pointed out, things that I had mentioned in my other videos. I had mentioned, a few things. I'm trying to think recently what it is. So one thing that happened was somebody in the actual Facebook group on the Facebook page, the Dua brand Facebook page, did one of the normal posts where they were like, Massam, please make, and it was like YSL Blue Electrique, okay? The newest flanker. And I said just buy the original. And I said that because price per mil, it's going to cost the same, if not be cheaper, to get the original. And the original performs actually very well. So the two main purposes basically of a clone is either to allow someone to experience something they could not have otherwise afford due to the price point, or because the performance sucked in the original and the clone hopefully performs better. This, recreating YSL Blue Electrique would do neither of those. Neither of those are issues with YSL Blue Electrique. It performs well, and it smells great, and it's affordable, especially if you get it on a sale. So it was not meant to be anti-Dua, was not meant to be, attacking anybody. And, an overwhelming majority of the Facebook group agreed with me and pointed that out. Nonetheless, there was a couple of Dua fanboys who anything you say that is not worshiping Massam or Dua, they get very upset by. So that pissed off a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people, a handful of people. Again, the overwhelming majority of comments were in support of what I was saying and that I wasn't trying to in any way, talk bad about Dua. Nonetheless, whatever. That upset people. I meant that in the same way as I don't get why, there's clones of Nautica Voyage. I don't get why there's clones of all these fragrances that are bargain bin cheapies you can get from TJ Maxx, especially when Nautica Voyage performs very well anyway. And it's like $12. Anyway, doesn't matter. I was trying to actually be helpful. It was interpreted clearly by a couple Dua fanboys in a completely different way. And so I had mentioned stuff like that in this group as well. Another thing that I had pointed out is stuff that I had realized in our reviews. In my reviews of Dua, but also quite a few of us felt that Dua's really been rushing fragrances. They went from releasing, maybe a couple actually a while back, it was like a couple a month, Then it was like, a couple every other week. Then it was a few a week. And now we're pushing out 15 fragrances every weekend. And with that, the quality's gone down significantly for most of their fragrances. Not all of them, but most of them seem rushed. So we discussed that. I also pointed out the kind of, just, I don't even know what to say. I guess the just flat out misguided or conflicting information as far as maceration goes. Bassam says that they don't need to macerate. They're already macerated. They're good to go when you get them. Now, all of us who have bought duas know that's not true. Okay? We all know they change over time. We all know sometimes they drastically change over time. But Bassam himself even has said when people comment about something not smelling right, and they're like, maybe it just needs time to macerate, just as recent as last week, he commented on a post and said, let it sit a while, and something about how, it needs time to macerate. But yet he's in the group posting, him and the admins, saying that they don't need to macerate, they're good to go. And why does he do that? Because it's bad for business if it looks like you're pushing out incomplete products. Not the only clone house that does that, so it's not a knock on Duo, but don't lie about it. So we discussed frustrations with that. I also found, and this was with all clone houses, this wasn't just, this wasn't a jab at Dua, is the, kind of impression that in articles that Bassam had done, where he calls himself a master perfumer and puts himself out there to be creating these perfumes in a lab, that he's taking the notes himself and doing this. He's not, and we know he's not. He's told us in the past he has, and he told us, a long time ago, he said he had chemists on the payroll that were recreating these. They were putting them in, the machine that was breaking down the notes, and then the chemists were recreating the fragrances. But to the world, he promotes himself as being a master perfumer along the lines of Roja, okay? Like he is actually perfuming these, and that's just not the case. And something else that came about is through my channel and me testing things, and I'd found that a lot of the Dua originals are in fact just hybrids or tribrids. Okay, they're original just as the same as any of his other hybrids are. Mata, Elixir 2, or Mata 2, whatever the hell it's called. It's literally Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather, Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, and Aventus. It's a tribrid. These notes line up exactly. And that's exactly what it smells like. It's a hybrid, a tribrid of those three. Mata 1 is 11ZZ and 13ZZ mixed together. Even the new niche line they just pushed out. The new niche line, someone else had noticed in the group that it was 2 Louis Vuitton fragrances that were meshed together. The entire Encounter Scents line is designer fragrances meshed together. Maybe with a, different note here or there sometimes that are added. But anyway, that's just what they do. And it wasn't said in a, way that was attacking it. It's just these aren't really original, are they? I mean, they're just hybrids or tribrids. But the knock as far as Bassam not being in a laboratory recreating this was not a knock on Dua as a company themselves. That goes for all clone houses, okay? None of these people, and this is my opinion, maybe they are, I don't believe any of these people are sitting in a laboratory recreating these fragrances. Most of them buy pre-made oils from companies that do this, that can afford these machines, that actually do employ chemists, who then recreate these fragrances, make them to a fragrance oil that these clone companies then buy and turn into an actual fragrance that you purchase, okay? That's just how it works. Not a knock on anybody. Anyway, there was somebody in the group, and this is how it gets to me being banned, who didn't like that we weren't all praising and worshiping Dua. Mind you, this was a Dua Facebook group in the sense that we all bought Dua, we liked Dua, we were there to talking about Dua. But since we didn't all, automatically praise everything, and if you talked bad about any Dua, that was an issue as well. This individual, I'm not going to mention her name, because I don't want to bring drama outside of this into it. I'm not trying to do that. They knew who they are, and it is what it is. I don't feel the need to blast their name all over the place, because I don't want this channel to be unnecessarily negative, but at the same time I do want to speak my truth and what happened. I will say this individual does think that they desperately want to be what Mega Dave is. Mega Dave is essentially kind of a Dua ambassador. You all know him. He's been reviewing fragrances, Dua fragrances for a long time. He's a big fan of Dua fragrances. A lot of people say, he's basically working for Dua, and I get that. He's got his own company, his own sample site that Dua backs. He doesn't really speak negative about Dua ever, but you know what you're getting. I don't think he really tries to hide it, and I don't have a problem with Mega Dave. I get that. To me, I see him as kind of an extension of Dua. You still can find out about the fragrances he's reviewing. You just like any other reviewer, to me, anybody else, you want to take what they're saying with a grain of salt to an extent, and then make your own decision. You don't just believe everything they say, okay? And that goes for everybody, me included. So I don't have an issue with Mega Dave at all, but she wants to be Mega Dave. She wants Massam to notice her like Mega Dave, and she hasn't been able to get that, and that bothers her. In fact, some comments were made where it seems like there's a lot more going on in what she wishes her and Massam would become. But I'm not, again, going to get into that. I'm not going to name this person. It's really just frustrating. So she had someone else in this group screenshot a bunch of stuff. She sent it to Massam to get, I guess, brownie points with Massam. I got banned. It is what it is. So I got banned. Never got an explanation why. At first, I thought maybe it was the Blue Electric thing, until I found out that these screenshots were taken from our private group and then sent to Massam. It's not like I was publicly blasting this out there. It was just a private group of us. Nonetheless, I don't care. It is what it is. That's Massam's choice. I won't be reviewing Dua fragrances going forward just because I'm not going to purchase things from his website when he's banned me from the group. And I get that. It kind of hurts the channel because I'd like to still be able to review his fragrances, but I can't, me personally, I don't want to support his company if he doesn't want me to be part of any of that. So that said, if people want to send me samples or I don't know, potentially if there's one somebody really wants me to review, I can get a sample of it, but I don't want to purchase things from Massam anymore because of this. It's not that I'm butthurt or anything like that. I just, again, it feels weird for me to support the brand when he doesn't want me to even be part of his group. Mind you, I've never said anything in the Facebook group about any of this stuff at all. The only thing I said in the Facebook group was what I told you before. I said just buy the original if I thought it made more sense. Or I'd give honest opinions on different duos if I tried them, if I didn't like them, or if I liked them, I would say that. Not in a bad, negative way, just in an honest way, in my opinion. So whatever, that is what it is. I got banned from Dua, but this brings me to a bigger issue, and Dua has very much become a cult. Okay. I don't have an issue again with Dua cloning. I don't have an issue with Dua even pushing out 8 million fragrances a week because it's a business. They know people are going to buy them. They're going to make more money. That's why they're doing it. As long as people keep buying it, they're going to keep doing it. And I get that. What I don't like is how it's, if you don't, and this isn't just if you say anything bad, you get kicked out. This is if you don't 100% praise them, you're out. You post a review that's not 5 stars. This is the best fragrance I've ever smelled. Massama's Jesus, reincarnate on their Facebook or on their website. It doesn't get posted. You comment in the Facebook group something that's not, praising Dua, or it's a complaint about, product coming in with particles in it or dust or, shipping delay or whatever the case may be, delete it. Because there's customer services for that. Problem is customer service doesn't respond. And even if a customer service is for that, these people still have a right to express their experience in the Facebook group if they want to, in my opinion. Again, it's not my Facebook group. I don't know. But it's become very clear over the time that Dua is, they all have to be yes men or they're kicked out. And you have to praise it. You have to say it's the best thing you've ever tried in the world. And otherwise, you're kicked out the door. A lot of people I know have already been kicked out, and it's just a negative environment. And you've seen anybody who's been with Duo for a long time, like me, and some of you all who've been there before me, seeing how Duo has changed, how the group has changed, how the Facebook group has changed as well as the company, and it really kind of went in a very far different direction from where it used to be. And it's the censorship is like to the next level. And it became, everybody started seeing, Massam as literally like, again, some sort of like idol or Jesus Christ or something like that. It's weird. But it is what it is, yes, my issue is more than anything with this all, the main issues with Duo is it's all misleading at the very least, okay? Saying that you're making originals that are actually hybrids, are they original? Sure, sort of. Legally, sure. Are they original though? No. Pushing out your own designer brand that you want to be in department stores that are literally copies of already designer fragrances that are already on the shelves in these stores with maybe an added note. Is that original? No. Coming out with a niche line that is literally hybrids of niche offerings that are already out there. Is that original? No. It's just, again, it's misleading. So is deleting reviews that aren't praising your products on the website. And they'll justify it by saying, oh, these are trolls. Well, not everybody that doesn't like your product is a troll. And saying that is equivalent to, what we saw with the elections, regardless of what side you were on. If somebody didn't support your candidate, there was some sort of voter fraud. It happened when Trump won, and then it happened when Biden won. Both people said the same thing, the opposite sides, there must have been fraud. And that's the same kind of shit we're seeing here. If it's not praise, something weird happened. This was a troll. Maybe your product just wasn't that good, or maybe it was, and this guy just didn't like it. That should still be out there. That information should still be out there, in my opinion. But who am I? Doesn't matter. I just wanted to say my piece, my part, and let you all know why I'm not going to be reviewing Duos anymore. And maybe a lot of people are going to take issue with me saying my honest, opinions. Maybe they think I should have been banned, and that's your opinion, your right to. So I don't know. I don't take issue with that either. I would just say, remind everybody, nothing I said was anything that was really a direct attack or meant to be an attack on Duo. It was something that I just, just like I would say good things, it was concerns that I was having. And this was in a private group. Never anything that was public that was, tarnishing Duo or anything like that. It was never meant to be an attack. And this wasn't, by and large, just about Duo. We just had discussions in general about clone houses, about stuff getting rushed, about censorship, So, anyway, that's that. I know this is a long rant. I don't know if anybody even cares to listen to this rant. But this is where I'm at now. And so, I won't be reviewing Duo in the future unless I get sent something, or you all really want something. I might try to get a sample from somebody. But to be quite honest with you, I don't even know if I can. If I ordered from the website, I don't even know if he would send it to me. I would imagine he would because he wants money. But then he's probably also concerned that my review might not praise it. So they might have put a flag on my account even. I don't know. I haven't tried. Funny thing is, when I found out I was banned, I had actually was going to order 4 fragrances from them that same weekend. One was the new Royal Cherry Attar, so late and exclusive. The Apple Brandy on the Rocks, the I Am King or whatever it is, and there was another one. And then I found out that, and I'm like, well, I'm not ordering this, I'm banned. I'm not buying these products. So anyway, that's it. Sorry for the long rant. And I guess that's really all I got to say. Y'all have a good night.